Well, look, summer weather may be warming up, but the markets are bubbling up. Take a look at the Dow intraday right now. We are very close to session highs, although slightly off them at the moment. Good day. Is the market, though, cloudy when it comes to your stock investments? Either way, Bob Dahl of Nuveen Asset Management, chief equity strategist, says there's a way and a will to position that portfolio, I guess, to get us through the Yellen question of what's going to happen with the Fed. What do you make of the market action today?
It's great to see that the market is sort of thumbing its nose at the employment report, interpreting it properly. Look, they're not all straight line up. It's a bumpy process. We're in a slow growth world, and I'm not going to get pushed off. And I think what it's saying is the Fed's not going in June. If we get the right data, they'll go in July. If not, then September. We'll eventually get there.
What are your plans for July? Do you think it will happen that if the number bounces back for the month of June for labor numbers, we might then say, okay, it really is time. We've got good consumer spending, et cetera.
They're ready to go, Liz, and they've been signaling that, and the employment number was flying the ointment, no question about it.
Okay, I like to hear that from you. Let me just play what Dennis Lockhart of the Atlanta Fed just said to Fox Business right here. It may make you feel even strongly more convicted. Listen.
I think there are two or three ways we can interpret it. The first is that there's a slowdown occurring in the U.S. economy. I don't buy that view. So I don't interpret the jobs report as signaling a slowdown.
Okay.
I agree. This is not a slowdown. It creates some confusion because we don't know what the Fed's going to do, but it's consistent with everything else we've had. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Slow growth world, Liz.
What do I buy to take my portfolio through the summer all the way to and through Labor Day?
Unit growth, companies that have free cash flow, and companies that do most of their business here in the U.S.
Let's put up your names that you really like.
Perfect.
Among them, T-Mobile is one of them. You like Walmart, which is doing very well today.
Yeah, Walmart's obviously a much-hated stock. It's kind of where it was 4 years ago. But it's beginning to clean up its act and do a little bit better. It's a defensive holding, Liz.
Yeah, well, we also had Jefferies upgrading it to a buy. They really like the earnings per share number. It didn't hurt them to pay their workers more. It seems to be going well there.
Exactly, it does. I think they've planned for that. They've worked that into their profit models, and that's okay.
Give me a sense of why you feel that a name like Delta, you know, the airlines are questionable right now, don't you think?
They are, and technically they're not behaving well, but when I can get a stock, it's selling half the market multiple with up earnings, good free cash flow, lots of dividend growth to come. We know the story in the airlines. When last did you fly and have lots of empty seats around you?
Never.
They're filling them up, and the prices are moving up.
Yeah, they're bringing capacity down. That makes people's lives miserable.
Hear, hear.
There's no more overhead luggage space. Bob, looking at these markets, look at the S&P 500, and at its level now, where do you see it ending for the year?
I've had a 2150 target, Liz, and you know, we're 1% away from a new all-time high.
We're at 2110.
2110, so that's 40 more points. At 2 points, give me a point for dividend. That's 3, add to the 4. I'd be giving us a 7% year. In this environment, I'll take 7 total return. I think that's the right way to look at life.
Folks, by the way, the S&P hit a 7-month intraday high today. Does that encourage you or make you think that we're going a little too far, a little too quickly?
Encourages me for sure, particularly in light of the weakness on Friday.
What's your favorite area right now, Bob?
I like the airlines. We've already talked about it. I think this is a forgotten group. It's going to take a little more time to show that these companies can turn out the profits. More importantly, the free cash flow in an environment where they've run hard over the last few years.
10 seconds. What's the #1 thing people who are looking to pick a stock should focus upon?
I go back to where do they get their business. The U.S. is mediocre, but the rest of the world's been worse than mediocre, sadly.
Great to have you. Bob Dahl of Nuveen Asset Management.